Thank you very much for waiting. We would like to resume the session. The next panel focuses on the priorities for CISOs in 2025. We would like to proceed with the panel discussion. I would like to introduce the panelists. From JFE Steel Corporation, Senior Vice President, Mr. Akira Nitta. From SUBARU Corporation, Executive Officer, CIO, Ms. Yuri Tsuji. From NISSIN Foods Holdings, Executive Officer, CIO, Mr. Toshihiro Narita. The moderator will be conducted by the Japan Cybersecurity Innovation Committee President, Mr. Toshinori Kajiura. So, Mr. Kajiura, the floor is yours. Thank you very much for the introduction. My name is Kajiura. So today's session, we will focus on the priorities for CISOs. Basically, cybersecurity is part of the management strategy. So what are the priorities for the year 2025? For the next 50 minutes, we would like to conduct a discussion. So this is today's topic. So CISO, the keywords. I do believe it has been penetrating the market, the society. Large companies have already assigned the role of CISOs, or at least someone who is designated to fulfill that role. So quite often they are part of the directors. But if there are 100 companies, there will be 100 different types of CISOs. So the roles and responsibilities and also the authority of the CISOs vary according to the company. So today we would like to focus on the manufacturing sector, and we have gathered the esteemed individuals who serve as the CISOs. So for the financial service and network companies, it is somewhat different in the manufacturing sector. On a relative basis, IT budget is limited, and also the IoT equipments. There are a lot of equipment that needs to be protected within the manufacturing locations. So given all these issues at hand, we have individuals who are responsible as CISOs in the manufacturing sector. So as introduced already, from JFE Steel, Mr. Nitta, and also from SUBARU, Ms. Tsuji, and NISSIN Foods Holdings, Mr. Narita. So their title denotes CIOs and other. However, internally, they serve the role of CISOs. So I'd like to pose each one of you to ask what are some of the issues specific to manufacturing sector and how do you engage the top management. So I have three issues listed here. The current state of the manufacturing company CISO. So I'd like to hear the introduction from each one of you. And next is the positioning of CISO and the role within the company. Or if there are any issues or if there are any initiatives you have taken in the past, we would definitely like to hear them. And as a summary, what should CISOs aim to achieve in 2025? So this will be a free discussion. So this will be the structure of today's panel discussion. So I'd like to ask each one of you to introduce your initiatives. So first, from JFE Steel, Mr. Nitta, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nitta. I am from JFE Steel. I have long title. That's why I didn't put it. I am the head of the DX headquarters and also cybersecurity. So I'm in charge of both offense and also defense. So using the hit the brake and at the same time hit the gas. So my company's name is JFE Steel. 25 million steels are produced in the world, and we are providing different types of steel products. There are 4 types, especially in Western Japan, and we have large-scale mill, and it is almost like a 540 equivalent of the Tokyo Dome, very large-scale steel mills we have. My biography is right there in the school. 1986, I joined as a system engineer. 2014, I became the general manager of the IT innovation leading department. And since then, I started overseeing IT and also cybersecurity issues in the company. After that, this department has changed the name to the DX headquarters. And I'm also serving as a CISO right now. I would like to talk about how we are protecting our securities. 2003, Kawasaki Steel and Nippon Steel were merged and became JFE. 2011 and then 12, the people read about the articles of the cyber attacks of many different private companies. And 2014, in the midterm IT plan, the enhancement of the cybersecurity was included. So 2015, for the first time in the industry, the JFE CERT preparation office was created. So this was the first security entity for us. And Keidan Ren came up with the information security guidelines. And based on that guideline, we decided to work on our security. So with the establishment of the CERT, we have about 260 companies, and we will standardize all the rules about the securities. And also we created the Information Security Committee and also launched JFE CERT officially. 2018, the Keidan Ren has announced the declaration of the cybersecurity management, and that was the follow-wind for all the private companies to work on the cybersecurity. And we have also announced our own declaration about the cybersecurity. In 2021, the cybersecurity group was upgraded to division. And later on, I'm going to talk about it in detail, but 2024, with cooperation with Narita Cyber, security specialist company was created. So this is the organizational chart. If you look at the topics, I just want to highlight one point. 2021, well, one is about the cybersecurity management declaration, and this is a follow-wind for the private company. And 2021, the government first mentioned about the public attributions. So they started identifying overseas attackers. And I think that was the some of the events that changed the overall trend. So this is the CERT organization. And there are 3 points I would like to highlight. So rule creation, and also creating a common platform and incident responses. If you look at the right-hand side, 260 different companies, 60 to 70,000 endpoints. So we have to monitor them 24 hours a day. And this is the chart of the organization. Left-hand side, JFE Steel Corporation. IT department, we also have the special IT cybersecurity divisions. And IT and then OT, the data in both sides are connected and merged. Therefore, we have to look at the overall ecosystem as one. The right-hand side is a security specialist division. We have to develop talents and also enhance the securities. So cybersecurity and solutions. This is the name of a new company, and this is the press release of that company. So not just the rules and then technologies, but also from 2014, we started enhancing our cybersecurity level in our company. Thank you so much.
辻様よろしくお願いします。
Thank you very much. Ms. Tsuji, please.
では、SUBARUの辻よりご説明いたします。
So this is Tsuji from SUBARU. So I'd like to introduce myself. So I am heading the IT strategy division, executive officer, CIO. I was initially an system engineer at IBM. I started my own company, and I returned to a local company called Santen as part of the child rearing process. So 5 years ago, I joined SUBARU. So initially, I was responsible for the information system. So back then, SUBARU was very much based on a paper-based and seal-based culture. So I have been engaging in the digitalization and uses of systems. And 3 years ago, after that, I have started to hold the responsibility for cybersecurity. And on April 2023, I have been responsible for the IT strategy for the cybersecurity as well as administration. So April onwards, I am at the current role. So CIO bears the responsibility of CISO. So I take responsibility for those. So the corporate overview, 107 years ago, the company was founded from Nakajima Aircraft and then moved on to Fuji Heavy Industry. 7 years ago, the automobile brand Subaru became the corporate name. So right now, we have 1% in terms of the global market, somewhat small size in terms of OEM, but we have been supported by the core fans to promote this value of enjoyment and peace of mind. So we continue to deliver quality automobiles. Aside from the passenger vehicles, so we do have aerospace independent companies as well. So the automobile industry, we're going through a major transformation once in 100 years or so. So likewise with the security, the businesses as well. So of course it is not just the ICEs, but also the EVs are much more prevalent, and also connected service, connecting to the internet, and also sharing service. There are more services connected to the exterior world. And because of that, there's more risk related to cybersecurity. Also in terms of the company structure, so the automobile, the sector, there has been a really robust supply chain. So for the parts and component suppliers, the parts would go to our factory and then all the way to the logistics, fully automated right now. But of course, recently, the development process has become more and more digitalized, and also we are seeing digital twins in the factory. So even in the manufacturing itself, we need to consider this for the supply chain as a whole. So we need to. It is because we have different sizes of companies, there's definitely a challenge trying to enhance the level of cybersecurity at the same level. That is why we have this guideline for the industry as a whole, and the Japanese Automobile the association, and also there's also association for the auto parts as well. So together with these associations, with the guideline in place, we intend to deploy these standards and guidelines to the different companies and suppliers. Another point, there's a risk that automobiles are connected to the internet. So specifically focusing on that, rather than this is not just related to internal company structure, but also to human lives. So this is somewhat of a different initiative. There's a J-Auto, the Measures Society. So we are also participating in this entity and sharing information. And with the stakeholders, we are intending to enhance the level. So 5.5 million individuals are connected or in this industry. So we are cooperating with one another. Thank you very much.
田様よろしくお願いします。失礼成田さん。
Then Narita-san, please go
はい
ahead.
日清食品ホールディングス
I am from Nissin Food Holdings. I'm serving as a CIO. My name is Narita. 25 years ago, I joined Accenture after graduating from the universities, and I worked for the public sectors and other relevant entities. Over 10 years ago, I wanted to work for a company, and I joined the DNA. And after that, I also worked at the Mercari, which is the internet company. And 2019, 5 years ago, I joined Nissin Foods Holdings. So 2 months before the COVID started, so after I joined the company, due to the COVID, I really had to work on the digital workplace, which is appropriate for the new order, and also paperless activities. And I wanted to democratize the IT system for everyone. And Nissin is aiming to be the data-driven company. So I try to create a system infrastructure so that everyone can really create the data. Especially last year, the Gen AI should be incorporated into our daily operations. The Nissin Foods Holdings is the head of the 60 different companies. About 70 years ago, the company was created, and Momofuku Ando, and he was the model of the Japanese morning drama, so some of you might know. And Momofuku Ando's son, Koki Ando, is the CEO, and also Noritaka Ando, the CEO, the grandson of the original founder. And we have 16,000 people working as employees, and we have 13 different offices in different countries. And we have instant noodles, and also we have wide range of food. You may not know that Nissin Food also has a Myojo Foods and also Komikea and also Bonchi. They are also our affiliated companies. And our company is food company, so didn't have much of a PII. So in the past, we didn't really were concerned about the cyber risks. But last 3-4 years, the situation has changed dramatically. It doesn't matter which sector you are or what size you are, that always the risk of cyber attacks are increasing. So even at the Nissin Food Holdings, last 3-4 years, we started putting more efforts in cybersecurities. So we are non-IT company, but the Ando, the founders, believe that the company cannot really survive as a global company unless we make ourselves digitalized. So we have sufficient budget for the IT systems. Towards 2030, mid to long-term plan, the Nissin Food Holdings must work on 5 different schemes, and then I recommended that to the management team. The most critical thing is the cybersecurity countermeasures. In the past, that the food industry didn't really invest into this area, but now we are really have to invest into the cybersecurity, and then management team agree to that. As for 5 different policies, the offense cybersecurity or defense cybersecurity, if there are 2, then the defense is the priority for us. So we defend ourselves first and become offensive later on. And especially when it comes to IT department, use of data, use of Gen AI, these offensive scheme, even before that, we have to work on the cybersecurity, and then business continuity have to be guaranteed. Otherwise, we cannot really go into offense areas. So we have to really put into our efforts into the digital technology, but first have to protect ourselves. And I would like to go into the detail later on.
はい、ありがとうございました。製造業
Thank you very much. So the CISOs and CIOs of the manufacturing sector, I've mentioned how they have many issues, but I may need to make an apology because each of the company are already addressing these issues. Just by hearing the presentation, I was able to appreciate that. So let us deep dive on that. The second point, the positioning of CISOs, the roles within the company. That would be the next topic. So you mentioned about the founding families. You are doing well, interact well, and there is a mutual understanding with the founding families. That was the point mentioned. So of course it relates to the distance you have with the top management or the board members. Many CISOs feel that there is definitely a distance between them. So the companies and affiliated companies. So those who are engaging in business, they may not actually conduct any out of control the fashion, and of course there are issues that they would like to hear of issues ahead of time. So I'm pretty sure you are facing all these different the challenges. So Mr. Nitta, would you like to start from there? So the positioning of CISO and the role within the company, I'd like to share with you several points. What is most important for CISO is the sustainable growth of the company. CISO needs to contribute towards that, and the sustainable growth in order to contribute from the cybersecurity's perspective, that requires you to see an overview of the company and always recognize the risk that is inherent to that company. More specifically, in our case, our JV Steel, back in 2021, we had the DX strategy has been formulated. So midterm, that is 4 years, 120 billion yen of DX-related budget will be conducted. So DX investment basically means the OT-related the data will be up in the cloud, or the system scope is getting more expanded, and of course there's a different level of usage that has been implemented. So for instance, in the overseas, M&A, the business may expand. Also, internally within the company, we have structured this DX solution, and we also looking into externally sell these the tools. So of course, there's this new CC, therefore there will be new type of security risk as well. So we need to be always conscious of how the business may expand and grow into the future. So in order to do that, it is essential we have a close communication with the top management so we can appreciate the risk in a timely manner and accordingly allocate the management resources. In fact, just moving on to group companies, affiliated companies, there was another topic. So the Japanese companies' subsidiaries, many of them are very independent-minded, and they tend to have a lot of a dedicated system. At least that is the case for our company. So for instance, within PCs, even if we've tried to standardize or integrate the software, perhaps there's a lack of governance, and also procurement is conducted by the individual subsidiaries. So as we conduct security governance, the fact that the infrastructure and the foundation is so diverse, that has been an issue. So I mentioned about the JV CERT, the organization launch. So when we launched the CERT, I is not really incident, it's actually integration. So on purpose, we changed the I as integration. 260 group companies. The system environment was completely different. So I knew that this would not be good for protecting. So we have established a rule to integrate the infrastructure. So it took us 2 years or so. But now, of course, the procurement is conducted individually, and the standardization was quite a challenge. But this is one initiative that we are glad that we have executed. So there's there's the funnel. So if there's one company, if there is a weak point, a weak hole, the risk would actually disperse within the group. So that is incorporated as part of the CERT. initiatives.
新田様からは
So, Mr. Nitta, you have also given us a keyword integration.
よろしくお願いします。
So, Ms. Tsuji?
はい、当社の方ではですね、
So at SUBARU,
やはり、サイバーセキュリティの経営意識というのは上に上がっておりま
the
して、
cybersecurity
私は
and the
CIO
recognition
ですけ
has been
れど
heightened.
も
So, I'm the CIO as well as the CISO.
ですね、
So, in the overseas subsidiaries,
ローカルの CIO が
so we have the local CIOs, 3 of them are in existence.
スキルというところではなか
But
った
these
方も
skills, some of them did not actually have these capabilities.
体制を強化するために
But as we try to strengthen the global cybersecurity measures, so the major local subsidiaries, we have actually convened 2 people from outside with the background and the experts. So in terms of the relationship with the top management, so IT and digital and security, the awareness has been on the rise. So myself and the president and the vice president, there has been a regular meeting so that I can explain the current state.
And executive directors, we have 25 minutes monthly meeting over 10 people. So we make them understood about what we are doing at the information area. Especially, as I stated at the beginning, the automobile industry itself are shored up for the security. So we work with other automobile manufacturers very closely and exchange informations. It is very helpful for all of us, and we are there to help each other and provide support for the suppliers and also affiliated companies. That's it.
はい、ありがとうございました。
Thank you, Ms. Tsuji.
からは業界挙げて
Ms. Tsuji mentioned about the all industry activities. So now, Narita-san, please. So at the NISSIN Food Holdings, there is no CISO function. CIO covers CISO functionalities, but cybersecurity countermeasures, that is the most important function in the CIO, and I think that is the highest expectation from the top management team. Well, having said that, when it comes to security countermeasures, when I report to the top management that this is going to be our security countermeasures, but I don't think they are satisfied. They just don't know much about the technology themselves, but they want to know that this technology will do this in the company. So as a CIO or as a CISO, I have to really show the status that these technology can improve. And the cybersecurity countermeasure is the most critical thing for me. But when you look at the reality, I think that the ransomware countermeasures are the security countermeasures at this moment. So NISSIN Food Holdings make sure that we are not attacked by the ransomware. But when I say that, it is very risky. We are a food company, and we have been working on the securities in many ways in accelerated manners. But as a specific material, EDR and also XDR should be well equipped to all the affiliated companies, and based on the SOC, the security services, we monitor them all the time, and then they understand it is a given that somebody tries to infiltrate, and they always identify the infiltrators and always try to prevent them coming into and deep into the organizations. So PCs and then servers, we equipped EDR. However, when the new terminal comes in, unless it is not installed with the EDR, again, this is going to be the vulnerability. And also, we have tens of thousands of devices in the world, then some of them once in a while become inactive. so that when the new device comes in, or the things which already have XDR but not working, so we have to continuously monitor them and make sure that the EDR is working in every device in the group. It's not easy to do this. We have to do it in very tedious manner, and the IT department is currently contributing to the group's safety.
はい、ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much. So Narita-san gave the keyword commitment.
3つのキーワードに
So against these three keywords, I would like to ask a question to Nitta-san first. The system integration you mentioned. You've done the system integration in 2 years, and then that was amazing.
辻さんと
And Ms. Tsuji and also Mr. Narita, system integration. Do you have any comment about the system integration? Tsuji-san first.
そうですね、システム統合は
System integration
グループとして当然その
as a group, and of course we are working on it,
ものづくりの会社です
but we are manufacturers,
っていくというシステ
so
ムを過去に作るっていうところまでを意識で
we
考えていない作り方
each company just developed their own system, and they didn't really think about the operation or even standardizing the operation. So everybody has their own systems. So now we have to control the risks, which means that we have to integrate everything, especially from the platform. First, integrate the platform, and after that, we will work on the upper layers. So IT department integration is taking place, so that April this year, we done the integration of the people working in the information system. Then what about you, Narita-san? We are thinking of integrating the system, but when you think of the global market, we have instant noodle food, and each region has their own manufacturings. They develop their own food and manufacture them and then sell them on their market. So many of them are independent. So when it comes to IT platform, they're all different. And in some areas, they're planning to integrate them, but we allow them to be independent. However, when it comes to securities, we cannot really rely on each local company. So we have to make sure headquarters should instruct them to use this platform to operate it, so that the local company will abide our rule.
同時にヘッド
So both at the local, the subsidiaries and the headquarters, we can always assess their current state. So in terms of defense, we will conduct the IT integration. But aside from that, there will be some level of discretion allowed to the local subsidiaries. And also, Ms. Tsuji just mentioned about the global CIO. They have also established a regional CIO. That is another area that we would like to look into. So we have 3 regions within the globe, and establishing the individual regional CIO, delegate them with different authorities so we can enhance the overall group governance. That is the direction we're heading towards. So Ms. Tsuji mentioned about the industry-wide effort. So of course the JAMA and also for the Department of Manufacture, it is quite wide range in terms of its scope. And so association is addressing the industry, the sector as a whole. So of course this is different sector by sector. But Mr. Nitta, I'd like to ask what sort of initiatives do you have towards the industry as a whole? So the steel works or steel making is our core business. So in the steel works, there's a power generator. So we do sell the electricity as well. So the critical infrastructure, the utility company has been designated as how. So we do have ISAC, the power utility ISAC. So since the establishment of ISAC, we have been one of the directors. So initially, I headed as part of the director within the ISAC, but someone else is responsible as of this moment. So in the utility, the industry, it is quite high risk. If you have facility that is designated as critical infrastructure. So we need to share and educate the information, and we are working together with the utility industry as well. Now, the steelmaking industry, the number of companies are somewhat limited, so it is more of an unofficial information exchange has been conducted. But in terms of the official participation, we do participate in the utility ISAC. Thank you very much. What about for you, Mr. Narita, in your industry? As we are just in the starting initial phase, there is definitely a supply chain. So whether it's Mr. Nitta or Ms. Tsuji, in terms of the lengths and the scope of the supply chain, it is much more limited. And of course, we do need to engage in initiative together with the different partners and suppliers, but that sort of control is not fully implemented. So we are just engaging them, and we share with them these are the initiatives we are taking. We are requesting them to conduct a similar service or similar initiatives, or we share that there seems to be a vulnerability that we have found, therefore we would like to ask you to address those. So having this in terms of establishing the framework, as far as the food industry is concerned, we're still in the initial phase. It has not been fully developed. So Mr. Narita mentioned about commitment. I think that was a key word that we heard. Of course, there's a commitment towards the top management and also commitment to the business units. The most important commitment, Mr. Nitta, what would you say that is for you? I cannot give you the details at this moment, but JV Steel, each business units have established their own KPIs. So within the cybersecurity, likewise, KPIs has been established. We have PDCA to manage the target. I believe next year onwards, some of the KPIs may be disclosed externally. The level of incident, we categorize those into 3 levels, depending on its criticality, from level 1 to level 3. Level 3 is the most severe critical incident. So we make sure that we avoid the occurrence of such severe incidents. That is the biggest commitment that we have towards the management. And in order to realize that, the organization and also the technical response, as well as the HR development, we have established the KPIs in hopes of controlling them. That's where we are right now. Thank you very much for that. Ms. Tsuji, what about in your case? What sort of commitment that is important to you? As mentioned already, for the industry, there is a cybersecurity guideline that has been launched already for the automobile sector as a whole. It's 153 items that needs to be executed. So so suppliers within there are some items or scope that they would also mandatory. They would have to fulfill those. And of course, if the suppliers have some issues, we would assist them so we can go. So 5.5 million of make sure there's no security holes. I do believe that is one of the commitment that we are engaging in. Thank you very much. And Mr. Narita and Ms. Tsuji, as look at your CV, just prior to the outbreak of the pandemic, it seems as if you have joined the company. So you have newly joined this company. Have you actually faced any issues as you try to address the COVID-19? Mr. Narita, please. That remote work was the assumption, and establishing the IT environment. And we cannot actually spend the time because there's been basically it was clearly it was an issue that we need to address in a short period of time. But in fact, we actually use this situation to push forward with the paperless situation.
And also, we have invested into the environment so that everybody can work from home. And it was a very hard time. But then again, the COVID itself was a following wind for us. And around that time, the cybersecurity risks has been heightened by the media. So the people started working from home, and the risks has been heightened. And it was easier for us to invest more into the cybersecurity. So that was positive factors. Thank you. Ms. Tsuji, what was your
そう
experience?
ですね。私は入社して数ヶ月で
Just a few months after I joined, COVID started, and I was the head of the information system department. And it was paper and stamp-based operation, but now people have to work from home, and also I have to put the security layer there. And when I look back those days, the corporate culture has changed. Almost decade of a change happened in 3 years. So IT specialists can talk about the things which are really communicated to the regular employees. And I know it was a hard days, but what we have done those days contributed to the digitalization and also the countermeasures against the cybersecurities and others. So, Mr. Nitta, you had been in the JFE for a long time, but during COVID, did you have any challenges? Well, I think I stated a little bit, but the new employees joined the company during the COVID era. I felt sorry for them. Even for trainings, we had to do it online. And if they have a question, they couldn't really ask their neighbor because there's no in-person environment. So now COVID subsided and then it became normal. And I think it is easier for us to train them and also develop them now. So time is running out, so let's move on to the last question. The theme of this session is what should CISOs aim to achieve in 2025? So I'd like to ask question 2, 3. Mr. Narita gave a keyword, data-driven company. So you protect data, but they want to make use of data. So what is your vision for the future? That starts from Nitta-san. So what is a vision? Well, I really want to ask this question to you, Kajiura-san. There are so many things that we have to tackle. We are the head of the securities, and we have to set a target according to the risk levels. So we have to set the target to achieve in the organization and also the departments or the people or talent. So we have to show the vision and allocate the management resource to that area. Everybody would say the same thing, but I'm concerned about the Gen AI. Generative AI will be contributing to the operation of our business, but which means that the attackers would make use of Gen AI in their attack methodology. So we have to take action. And we are promoting DX at this moment, especially in factories. They use drones, robotics. When they are hijacked by the attackers, then rather than just the breach, it could be the attack, the physical attack for the facilities or factory themselves. So we are using new technologies, but have to think of physical countermeasures to protect the safety of the company because we are manufacturers. Thank you. Ms. Tsuji, Do you have any comment?
はい、そうですね。自動車はもうハードがメインだったんですけども、最近は
Used to be hardware, but now we are using software, and it is almost like a software-oriented vehicles. And we have to integrate the software applications, and also we have to protect that side too.
会社としましては
And against the backdrop, 2030, we are aiming to be no accident, no fatality, and we are currently working on the site. But this is not about the physical accident, but the digital accident. The cybersecurity incident is very scary, and then that may cause some damages for the cars.
作りに合わせてですね、
So in line with the manufacturing, monozukuri, we would like to protect this through the digital technology. So from both sides, we'd like to build the safe and the enjoyable and automobile society. What about yourself, Mr. Narita? So as a CISO, we need to protect the platform whereby we can continue our business. So this is an effort we need to make on a sustainable basis, specifically the ransomware, the countermeasures. So we will not be attacked by the ransomware attacks. So we need to really protect that line of defense. And also, we in the food manufacturing industry, so production facility, if we are attacked with then that is the high risk. So for instance, if production facilities are suspended or it will be controlled by the attackers. OT security is another area we are focusing on. So in terms of OT security, in Japan, it has not been fully broadcasted, but of course in the next couple of years or so, we shall see individual cases, and it would be too late if we start to make countermeasures at that moment. So we like to be proactive. So globally, we will be establishing new production facilities, several of them going forward. And in those, we would actually conduct the design with the security mindset in mind, security ideas in mind. So OT technology and ransomware countermeasures, those are the two areas that we have in mind. We still have some time, so we do have individuals and other CIOs, CISOs from the manufacturing sector. So quality, you are highly sensitive towards those. But security, the mindset, in order to enhance to the level of the quality, the priority, both at the job site and also at the top management level, what do you think it is necessary? So we in the steelworks industry, safety precedes everything. So quality is important, but likewise with safety. That is another very important point as we engage in business. So both the safety and quality, but of course we need to establish solid rules, and we need to develop HRs accordingly. So within the rule that is observed, these people would engage in their business. So this is the world we need to create this in the cyber, the world. So it is a similar the mindset that we have for safety and quality. That is what we have in mind.
質問です。何回かお答えになっていると思います。
And I think you've already answered these questions, but please discuss about the security for the quality and also the cyberspace. At this moment, the security is a part of quality. Our company started out from the airplane manufacturing, so the damage or the failure of the hardware are closely related to the humans' lives, and that's why that we are also thinking the security is also in the quality. And when you think of the word security, people tend to think of the IT, but you really have to think that that is a part of the quality of the automobile. Then what about Mr. Narita? We are the same as the other two panelists. Whose are the things which people ingest? So safe and also the secure. These two are the keywords for us. So if we are not doing enough for the cybersecurity, then the quality of the product may be substandard. And as a company, we have to maintain the quality of the products, and again, that is related to the security. The top management must communicate about this too. Thank you so much, everyone. And I think we are reaching to the time that we are allocated. So we have been discussing about the priorities for the CISOs in 2025, and we have invited the panelists who are the CISOs in their own companies. Every company, you are working wonderfully, but at the same time, I feel that they have committed to improve that even further. So once again, thank you very much for 3 panelists. Thank you.